As a high school social studies teacher, there are many ways that you can integrate technology and applications into your classroom. Students are more reliant on applications and technical devices now more than ever. As teachers, it is best that we show our students how to use educational technology in our classrooms by using our lessons to encourage communication, collaboration, and the transfer of information. Students have shown increased rates of retention of learning material through the usage of online applications integrated into daily lessons. I have curated a list of my 3 favorite applications that I successfully use in my classroom every day. All of them are free to use, easy to train students in using, as well as very engaging. There are advantages and challenges when integrating educational technology into your history lessons. Technology is growing at an exponentially fast pace, and unfortunately, the studies, pedagogy, and implications of its use in education are not necessarily as fast-paced as its growth. Teachers experience challenges in the classroom when using educational applications. Student misuse, abuse of artificial intelligence, and the ability for learners to be distracted are all issues that educators face. Not to mention, the large digital divide and lack of equitable access to technology and internet access outside of the classroom. Language barriers and understanding for ESL learners can also cause challenges in learning when using learning management systems and applications. Fortunately, many applications have realized these challenges and are building differentiation methods, individual learning plans, and supplemental learning activities to assist those with issues. With education going in a more technologically based direction, many public schools are also relying on programs that ensure students have proper devices and internet access at home. I myself have taught in high-priority, low-income student schools that receive Title I funds. I have learned how to navigate many of these challenges by finding applications that allow for pre-downloads and also allow me to monitor student activities as they are working so that I can ensure that they are on track.
I love using Google Earth and Google Culture and Arts because it's a really easy and accessible way for you to kind of take your students on a 3D tour of the things that you are teaching in the classroom. So when you go to the website, you can actually choose which historical event that you would like them to focus on. For instance, today I'm going to work with the Battle of Gettysburg. So they do provide like a historical archive of photos and other primary resources that you can engage your students. And you can actually press where to next and it'll take you to a museum and the type of archives that the museums offer. You can play games. They also have the ability for you to go on a live tour of many museums. I know that you can do a live tour of most of the Smithsonian museums because they do have a relationship with Google Culture and Arts, and not to mention it's free. There's a lot of resources online, and all students need is internet access. This can be assigned asynchronously or synchronous. You can make your own assignments, or you could purchase assignments on Teachers Pay Teachers as well. Stanford History Education Group, aka SHEG, is one of my favorite resources. As a teacher, I love the reading like a historian, and the great thing about them is that they do have intro materials for history teachers if you want to introduce historiography and just the basic skills that many students need to dive into history, such as contextualization, research, all types of things. So they do offer document-based question assessments, long answer type of activities, projects, and you can choose based off of the levels of your students, which is different from other applications. Proficient, emergent, gifted, and they have a relationship with civic reasoning, which provides a lot of lateral lessons, online lessons built in. They have different projects and different relationships that give you access to resources, primary resources. And what I love about them most is they provide the answer key, the group discussion questions, different answers to questions that students might ask. And you can download these things if you do not have internet access. Gamification is one thing that we focused on in this course, and I can just say, for these 7 years that I have spent in the classroom, I do see a rise in student engagement and interest when you do use gamification methods during instruction. Kahoot has been one of the greatest ways that I'm able to assess my students before lessons, during lessons, and as post assessments as well. So I love that Kahoot has a bank of information. Say we want to search the Battle of Gettysburg, I can filter it out based on age. I can filter it out by, has it been created by a student? Has it been created by a fellow teacher? And you can copy it and edit it to be your own. So a lot of these things I have kind of just remixed based off of other teachers. A lot of state objectives can be tested if you type in your state specifically. And the good thing is that students love this. It gives them that extrinsic motivation through gamification, because they can see who came into first place, their percentage, and then you can also use that feedback for your own. When you see each student, which question they got wrong, you can guide your instruction based off of the questions that most of your students got wrong, which helps you figure out where you need to go to kind of reteach these things. So Kahoot, you do need a strong internet connection. You can assign it for homework so students can do it outside of school, but I think it's best and most engaging when you're doing it in real time with your students, and you can give them that automatic feedback as soon as the game is over or throughout the game through explaining and kind of providing supplemental learning as you're going through each question. So this is one of the best and most underrated forms of formal assessment that I have used, and it gives you a good look at groups as a whole. So just to practice today, we are going to do an EOC review based off of the Georgia end of course questions for United States history. I actually pulled these from the practice EOC that is given on the Department of Education for Georgia Online, so that you know they're directly aligned with the objectives and standards that students will be tested on to see if they are proficient, emerging, developing, or very proficient. So I'm going to assign this under classic mode, and then it says get ready to join. So all students need is any type of device. It does come with a QR code. So here it is. I'm using an example on my own iPhone. You see me go in, scan the QR code. If you have a student who does not have a QR code accessible device, they can use the Game Pen on any type of web browser, and it comes up as well. So this kind of just gives you a look at how it looks on your actual device. You see I typed in my name, Brittney, and I put in the QR code, the Game Pen, it automatically generates. And I'm just doing this from my laptop as the actual instructor and from my phone as a mock student. And it does really well. So I actually am going to provide you all with a practice link in the description below that you can kind of play with it yourself and see what it's like on the other side through your students' eyes. So students have to pay attention also to the board, which would be my computer, because it does not give the answer options on the phone, just the color options as well.
As much as history applications can assist you in student interactivity and engagement, at the end of the day, they are tools. Teachers are imperative parts of the classroom, and your skills are what centers the applications that you are using. Community, collaboration, planning, and proper implementation based off of school culture. And knowing your students personally is something that you cannot replace with applications, artificial intelligence, or education technology. Studies showed that teachers who integrated online learning methods into their traditional classrooms led to their students doing the same outside of their classroom. This shows that teachers are influencers, inspirers, and essential. Please use these applications to inspire and build upon the great work that I am sure is already taking place in your classroom.